Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, I didn't get a chance to talk about it when it happened. Had quite a long time to process it, but let's talk about it. Adrian Granados versus Javier Fortuna, man. What a crock. What a terrible result to a fight that on paper looked like it was going to be so promising. First of all, let me say this, man. Adrian Granados, man, is the most unlucky fighter in all of boxing. I mean, this guy just cannot get a break. Seemingly, he takes on he upsets one of the most feared and top rated 140 pounders at the time in 2015 in the Mirror Mom. Then after he beats him, doesn't get a title shot at 140, gets ducked and avoided by pretty much all the champions at 140. Then he has to go to 147 because that was the only place where he can get the opportunities. So then he elects to fight Adrian Broner, beats Adrian Broner, but really gets jobbed on a gift decision. Fights Sean Porter, probably a little bit out of his element there, but still gives a good account of himself. Didn't get stopped, didn't go down, and won a couple rounds himself. So gives a good account of himself there. So then 3 years finally after gets to return to 140, finally gets to enjoy the advantage of being the bigger guy against a guy, Fortuna coming up to fight him. And as he's beginning to pick up momentum and cut the distance and impose himself on Javier Fortuna, Fortuna gets knocked through the ropes, and then he falls down, suffers some whiplash, and then just lays there unconscious. And eventually he has to be taken out on a stretcher. And I'll be honest with you, when I watched the fight, and I still do believe this, man. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it might come off that way. So I'm sorry for any Javier Fortuna fans or Javier Fortuna himself, if you can understand what I'm saying. But I think he deserves an Oscar. I think Javier Fortuna really wasn't as hurt as many of us may have been led to believe in the moment. I thought when I watched the fight, I thought he was faking. I thought he was acting. I thought he deserved an Oscar for that performance, really, because you can clearly see when he falls off the ropes, his head does whip back. So I do believe there was some whiplash. But his head didn't hit anything. You can almost kind of see him. It almost like he was looking for his head to hit something, and his head didn't hit anything, and he just laid there. So my thing is, Granados was coming on strong. Granados was really beginning to put the pressure on him and find his way in the fight. Fortuna had already, done. He had already been born and had a couple points taken away for excessive holding. Because that's what he was excessively holding Adrian Granados, and much like he did against Robert Easter Jr. And I believe if the fight would have continued, Granados would have eventually got Fortuna out of there in the 7th round, 6th round, something like that. Because Fortuna is a tough customer, but for as tough as he is, Granados was able to lean on him and push him, and his shots were laying a little more cleaner, a little more crisper as the fight wore on. And I just think it was an easy way out. It was a way to say, okay, I didn't get a loss my record, even though he was only like 10 seconds away. The fight was only 10 seconds away from being an official fight by Texas rules, but they didn't get out of the 4th round, so it wound up being a no contest. And now Adrian, who trained so hard for this fight, I'm good friends with him. He trained so hard for this fight, and now his career is in a funny place because he trained so hard for this fight after the Porter fight. He went to Mexico, was very focused, took his training very seriously, and his fight with Fortuna got cut short to not even 4 rounds, and doesn't even get a win out of it. So, it's a tough pill to swallow, because if you're Adrian, you're like, man, what do you do next? You want to obviously, you got the fight with Fortuna, you want to show that, hey, I'm better than that guy, I want to beat him. So there's that. But time goes on, and you don't want to wait for Fortuna. So I could also understand if he said, hey, let me go fight one of the champions. He is on record saying that he didn't want to fight Jose Ramirez, and that's a fight that I think should happen. It makes all the sense in the world. Granados should have fought for that WBC title after he destroyed Amir Imam, but he never got a chance to fight for that title when he fought after he beat Amir Imam. So that title, in many ways, and he has every right to feel this way, that title is rightfully his, or he should have rightfully got a shot at the title. And, Jose Ramirez beat Amir Imam to get the title. So they both beat Amir Imam. Adrian's performance was obviously better. He stopped him in what was the upset of the year in 2015. And, they both come forward Mexican fighters. you'll be led to believe that Jose Ramirez is the more polished of the two fighters, but with that Olympic experience, that Olympic background. But you can never count a guy like Granados out. He's always a live dog in there. So if he wants to go that route, that's fine. He's also been on record in a couple of videos saying that he wants to reach his prograde. That fight, if it does happen, that's not a fight that's going to happen until later on in the year because Progray's got a fight scheduled for, I believe, it's July 14th or something like that. So, interesting case. But I'll say this, man. Fortuna, I like Fortuna. I'll be honest with you. I'm a Fortuna fan. But his last couple fights, his last couple performances, I really haven't been as big a fan of him because even though I think you could have made the case that he beat Robert Easter Jr., it was a foul-infested performance. He didn't box within the rules, and you guys know. I don't have to rehash the Andre Ward videos. If you want to know what my opinions are on fighters who can't box within the rules, who excessively hold, go revisit my Andre Ward videos. Go revisit my Adrian Broner videos. I spoke my piece on that. He's been someone that has been excessively holding more and more in his last couple of fights. He did it with Easter, not as much as he did against Granados, but he did it with Easter. He did it with Granados, and truthfully, I think ever since he got knocked out by Sosa and got his title snatched from Sosa, he has not been the same fighter, and his style has gotten more uglier. His style has gotten a lot less aesthetically pleasing, and you've been seeing him result to more holding and clinching, and that's not what we want to see from Fortuna. He's a better fighter than he's shown in those last two fights, and hopefully for him, if he doesn't fight Granados, regardless of the fact, I want to see Fortuna have better performances and fight in a much more respectable manner. So that's that. I wouldn't mind a rematch. I don't really see the point of it, honestly, because Granados was winning. Granados was going to get him out of there anyway. If anything, the question we need to be asking is, when is Javier Fortuna getting his Oscar in the mail? Because that boy, he fell off the ropes. There was some whiplash, but his head hit nothing. Dude was on the ground acting like he was dead. So maybe I'm being insensitive. I'm trying not to be, but I'm just giving you guys my unfiltered and raw opinion. I think he acted. I think he was looking for a way out, and he found his way out in the result of faking injury to get out of the fight. So we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully we get Adrian Granados on the channel soon, so we can get what happened from him. And as for the rematch, if they want to do it, cool. If not, I'm cool with that too. I think there's bigger fish to fry anyway for Granados, and regardless, good for him to get another check in the mail. Good for him to keep going and not really take too much punishment in the process. So not a bad night for Adrian Granados. We just hope for a better night for Adrian Granados. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What did you make of Javier Fortuna when all this transpired? Like, do you guys think I'm tripping here and I'm just overreacting because Adrian's my friend and all this stuff, or do I have any legitimate points? Because there was some whiplash, but he didn't hit anything, and it almost looked like if you watch it over and over again, it almost looked like he was trying to find something for his head to hit so he could say, "Oh, ow, my head," and be unconscious. But let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.